The snow crunched under Adam's boots as he walked up to the tentacle, throwing his rucksack into the bed. The truck was loaded with several rifles, ammunition and provisions that would serve as his nest egg once he left the resistance compound for his new life as a hermit. The newfound evidence of the Imperium's battle against slavery has cemented in his mind the thoughts of leaving that had plagued him since Alex's display in Dallas. The snowy night air of the Rocky Mountains in February stung his lungs as he breathed and exhaled a shuddering whoosh of air. He walked back into the small domicile that served as his home, grabbing the last bag of his personal effects from where it lay in his bunk. As he silently closed the door and walked back to the soon-to-be-stolen truck, he saw a shadowy figure leaning against it, barely visible in the waning moonlight and dense snowfall.
That's it then?
Came Alex's voice, heavy in the night air.
After everything we've done together, you're just leaving?
Adam stopped in his tracks, the voice of his old friend the last thing he wanted to hear. Yeah, he replied, trying to find the words to explain how he felt. I'm sorry. I'm out. A flash from the Chauvanti bombardment in the distant city at the feet of the mountains briefly illuminated Alex's silhouette as he straightened.
Just like that,
he said, anger taking hold of his voice as he gestured in the direction of the flash.
While our people are being wiped off the face of the earth by an orbital bombardment, you're just gonna run?
I told you not to order that Denver op, Alec.
That doesn't fucking matter!
Shouted Alec into the snowy night.
We have to do something! Anything!
Pointing at the ground, he continued.
This is my goddamn land, and I'll be damned if I let the Empire win this war!
We've already lost, Alec, replied Adam, walking around his old partner to put his bag in the bed of the truck. The Empire is too large, and frankly, I'm not sure if what we had before was better.
We haven't lost. We're still fighting. There's red American blood in our veins and a fire in our hearts. What would the Founding Fathers think?
Alec chided indignantly. This is completely different. You know that. We're one planet against trillions of people from hundreds of worlds.
How is that any different? 250 years ago, our forefathers fought an empire that ruled a quarter of the world. And we won.
And they probably spit on you for the way you butcher civilians. Adam spat back, bitterness swelling in his gut.
Not civilians. Loyalist scum. Collaborators.
Non-combatants, Alec. I'm done. I wish you the best of luck in your war, Adam said softly, tears beginning to crest his cheeks.
You're not leaving.
Alec spat, his voice dripping with ill-contained rage. Adam paused, turning from where he rested on the passenger side of the truck bed. He looked at Alec, face briefly illuminated by another distant flash, a mask of pain twisting his expression. So, what? You gonna kill me? Asked Adam, as the first thunderous crack reached them from the fight below.
I'm not gonna kill you, but I am gonna stop you from making the biggest mistake of your life. You're not in your right mind, Adam,
he replied, voice shaking as tears threatened to leak from his own eyes. Adam rose to his full height, gripping the tab under the mag pouches on his plate carrier, the sound of the Velcro tearing, splitting the calm night air before another bout of artillery sounded distantly. He lifted the plate carrier over his head, tossing it into the back of the truck. Stepping forward, he squared off with the man whom he had fought beside throughout 4 tours, the grief of losing his wife, and a bitter war against an invading army. I'm sorry, Alec. This is your last chance to let me go peacefully. I don't want to fight you.
No. This is your last chance to go back to your bunk and forget that this ever happened peacefully.
Sucking in a deep breath of burning air, Adam set his jaw and settled into a fighting stance with his arms held in front of his face, mirrored by Alec. His opponent had spent years showing Adam what he knew of Krav Maga, along with Adam teaching him the basics of Sambo. Adam closed the distance first, throwing a punch, only for Alec to drop underneath it and clip Adam in the ribs twice.
Is this what Ellie would have wanted, huh?
Asked Alec, darting quickly away before Adam could turn and face him.
Would she want you throwing in with the invaders that burned her to a crisp?
You lost the right to say her name when you started killing kids, roared Adam as he darted forward, slamming his right shoulder into Alec's midsection and grabbing his legs. The pair grappled on the ground, each trying to get a hold on the other. Alec slipped out at the last second, delivering an elbow to Adam's liver as he escaped. Adam rose to his feet, clutching his side and looking at Alec, who stood several feet away.
You remember that day? You remember the way her clothes melted to her skin? The eyeball that hung from her socket? 'Cause I fucking do.
Alec said, tears evident in his voice.
I remember the smell of her burned hair when it fell from her head as you held her.
Shut the fuck up! Screamed Adam.
I remember you calling me to help you dig through the burning rubble in the hopes that she was still alive. I still have the burns on my hand to prove it.
He yelled, opening his hands.
You're not just giving up on me, on this. You're giving up on Ellie. You might as well just go take a shit on her grave while you're at it.
Screaming wordlessly, Adam flung himself at his opponent, Alec blocking the punch and tripping him simultaneously. He pulled Adam into a headlock, speaking close to his ear.
You want to talk about slavery? Alright, that's fine. Let's talk about the reports from the LA, Chicago, and Detroit green zones. Why are men disappearing after meeting nobles there, Adam? Huh?
He adjusted his grip around Adam's head.
What do you think is happening to them? The fucking pups are turning our goddamn race into sex toys. Are you really gonna let that slide?
Adam slid his left hand onto the arm wrapped around his neck, trying to break the hold, before elbowing Alec in the ribs 3 times. He felt a rib crack under his last blow, causing the man to scream through gritted teeth. He used the opportunity to break the hold and rolled to face Alec from the top. Grabbing him by the throat, he punched him hard in the temple. In short order, he delivered blow after blow to his old friend's face. He stopped briefly to pull a tooth from where it sat embedded in his knuckle. He looked down at the man, gasping for air through a blood-filled mouth, the front teeth of both his jaws broken or missing. When the flash from another strike illuminated Alec with clarity, all he could see was sorrow and pity framed in his gaze. Tears welled from Adam's face as he leaned back on his knees, straddling the man, and screamed wordlessly into the snowy night air. Alec raised a shaky hand to the side of Adam's face, cupping it gingerly as he gurgled something unintelligible. I'm so sorry, Alec. Adam trailed off, heartbroken at his friend's clear attempt to show compassion. He rose to his feet, unable to bear looking at the mangled wreck, and took off his dog tags. Clutching them in his hands, he exhaled, and set them on Alec's chest as it slowly rose and fell. He moved and opened the gate in front of the truck, exhaling a shuddering breath as he started the vehicle. He pulled his radio from his belt, setting it to the unit emergency frequency. Alert! One friendly down by the south gate, requesting immediate medical, over, he said, before tossing the radio from his truck and speeding out into the snowy night air. Adam awoke from his nightmare in the bunk he had chosen. The bay was mostly empty, the only occupants being himself, Sel, and the pair of nobles who had also passed the initial assessment. The warm air of the room contrasted heavily with the rigid night he remembered in his dream, further cementing the thought that he had left his past behind and should just forget about it now. He was leaning back to return to his slumber when 2 shadowy figures crept by the edge of his bed, clearly the short noblewomen. Fucking cave scum, he heard one of them whisper, as he saw where they were headed. Sel lay snoring softly in a bunk less than 4 meters away from the pair. He had seen this before in Basic. One of the sick call rangers had pissed off a few of the other privates, who then decided to arrange for him to fall out of his bunk in the middle of the night during their lock and sock party. Alec, his bummate at the time, had convinced him to stay out of it. I'm not Alec, Adam thought as he rose to his feet, bed creaking softly as he left. He crept up behind the pair, moving his feet from heel to toe silently. When he was less than 2 meters from the duo, he spoke, hoping he could diffuse this with words. What are you two up to? He asked cheerily, feigning ignorance. The pair froze and turned to him. None of your concern, human, the larger of the two said. Yeah, just get back to your bunk. The corporate's about to have an accident, said the other bookend, crossing her arms over her chest. Yeah, no, not gonna happen, Adam snarled, now realizing that this was not going to go his way. He began to slowly circle around the pair, attempting to put himself between them and Sel. Oh, the kind of things he can tell the heiress of the Darcy family what to do. Do you even understand who you're defying, male? The larger one spat. Oh, I understand. I just don't give a fuck, replied Adam, now relatively borrowing their path. Now, unless you want to have an accident like you planned for our friend here, I suggest you sleep this one off. He was bluffing, and he knew it. The duo could easily overpower him in a fight, especially since he was in his t-shirt and basketball shorts instead of his armor. The lead one snorted and lunged for Adam, who dodged and delivered a strike to a muscled abdomen before twisting and backhanding the other one across the face. "Fucking stiffy!" shouted the one he'd backhanded. Not wasting time, he delivered a kick to the back of the lead noble, sending her sprawling to the ground. "Aye, what?" muttered the lump on his bed, sitting up, clearly woken by the early exclamation. "Adam!" she yelled, leaping to her feet, now having analysed the situation for what it was. Adam charged the brute in front of him, slamming his shoulder into her midsection and wrapping his arms behind her knees, dropping them both to the floor. Moving up her body after she landed with a meaty whack against the tile floor, he dodged a punch thrown at him, pushed the arm across her chest, and started to well blows down on her nose. "Fuck!" Seth exclaimed. Adam turned to see her caught in a headlock by the larger of the duo. Adam jumped to his feet, forcefully bounding the back of the woman's skull against the concrete as he sprinted for his partner. The large noble broke her hold on Cell, tossing her to the side as Adam leapt for her. He threw a punch that missed slightly, and saw Stars with a massive fist uppercut him from below. He fell back, stumbling at the blow, as the noble laughed loudly. "Not so tough without your suit, huh? Maybe I should show you how a real woman fights instead of whatever dumb cunt let you into selection," she said darkly, as Adam regained his senses. With Cell gasping for air on the ground, and the other noble groaning and clutching her face, Adam directed all of his attention on the woman in front of him. He was faster than her, and he knew it. That being said, she was significantly stronger, clearly communicated by the earth-rocking punch earlier. He closed in, dodging a punch and delivering one of his own to her gut. Her abs felt like steel against his already bruised knuckles, and he was moving to send another when he felt two massive arms wrap under his and behind his head, jerking him back. "Fucking cunt-licking human trash!" said the woman he thought he had disabled earlier in his ear. "You think you're going to get out of this now?" "Yeah," said the larger noble, rubbing the spot where he had punched her stomach. "We were going to let you go. Maybe take you with us when we left. You're kind of cute, but no. You just had to act like a dissident." "Fuck off," spat Adam through gritted teeth, before the woman in front delivered a punch to his ribs, still tender for being broken earlier. "I bet he was hoping to get some glow count from the corpo," laughed the woman holding Adam. "Well, we're just going to have to show him how much better we are then," laughed the large noble in front of him, delivering a left hook to his solar plexus. He wheezed, spots appearing in his vision as he felt his shirt being pulled from his torso. "Kiss my ass, spoiled brats," he managed through gasping breaths, as he was jerked back up, the iron-like arms returning to their previous position. "No, but you're going to get to kiss some nice purple cunt before it's done with you, you scum-loving bit." The larger of the two started, before being cut off by a loud voice. "What the fuck are you doing, recruits?" came Instructor Zev's voice from the entrance of the bay. "These two attacked us in the middle of the night, ma'am. We were defending ourselves," blurted out the woman who held Adam, releasing him as he dropped to the floor. He gazed up to see Zev glaring angrily, sidearm leveled at the duo. "Hey, dumb fucks! Did you forget that we have cameras in the bay?" she yelled. He felt soft hands rolling him over, and believably gazed into Cell's monochrome eyes, her face faintly lit by glowing tattoos that flowed over her body. She knelt over him, pulling items from a small bag that had the Shulvanti symbol for a medic drawn on it. "Adam, stay with me," was the last thing he heard, before he fell from consciousness.